It is Ryan Seacrest here. Everybody needs some variety in life. That's what I love about Chumba Casino. They know how to keep things fresh and exciting. All their games are free to play. Like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire. You can claim free daily login bonuses too. And they release new games every week. So spice things up with ChumbaCasino.com now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep into the pool, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
I've been waiting for this moment all my life. To talk to somebody like you. Nah. That's not how it goes, huh? I don't think that's how it goes. Testicles 1, 2. Testicles. Oh, yeah. I can't scream too much. Guys, bear with me. Baby's in a room. I am Trebles Garcia, and I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today. Welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast. And I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Trebles Garcia, your humble host. And I want to remind you that the most amazing thing that you could do for the show today is word of mouth. Check us out at paranoidradio.com. Tell all your friends about it. And make sure you check out Flavors of the Forest. Save 15% off on your next purchase. So I check out Flavors of the Forest. And you're like, what the fuck is Flavors of the Forest? It's Bigfoot growing garlic. And then he steps on it and he sells it to you in a bottle. Fucking organic, bro. Check it out. Flavors of the Forest. You could dump that shit on anything. Now that we're here, stop with the promotions, guys. The most important thing that you could do for the show, again, I'm going to tell you again one more time, is word of mouth. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. I have an amazing episode lined up for you guys. And if I'm not screaming or all hyped up like before, all the episodes, it's because I am fucking 3 weeks in on soberness, drinking sparkling water, pretending that it's beer, growing the beard for all December. And on top of that, I'm fighting my freaking anxiety attacks because I don't have alcohol to slow me down. And I'm growing anxiety just because I have the next special guest that's going to bring chapter 6 of the most amazing freaking franchise on the show. The series of an amazing, amazing documentary and amazing person. Please, jumping in from the deep end of the pool and set in the mood. Give a warm welcome to the amazing, my friend, my pod mom, Janet from the Deplorable Nation podcast. Janet, welcome back.
Well, hello to you, my friend. And for anybody that has not seen you yet, you have this lovely man facial hair. Makes you look very rugged, and I love it.
Thank you.
Look fabulous. Fabulous, darling.
Ouch. That was the most beautiful thing anybody said the entire freaking month. Thank you. Feels good. Welcome back, Janet. Please let them know where they can find you.
You can find Deplorable Nation podcast on every podcast platform. You can watch it on Rumble as well at Deplorable Nation podcast. Or if you want to hit me up on Instagram, it is Deplorable Janet, or on Twitter at No Janet, KNOW. Sweet.
That's right.
Check
Make sure
it
you hit her
out.
up. Check her out. She dropped episode 1. She was fighting her for her life and for her child. Episode 2, she divorces the dude. Episode 3, she meets the love of her life. Episode 4, it's getting all dandy. The love of her life is freaking fighting with her daughter. And now, chapter 5, they started getting kinky as fuck. Yeah, they started practicing and they started indulging into discovery of oneself. And because 1 and 1 equals 1, the 2 and 2 don't equal 4, but her and her husband became one. They started exploring everybody, all the other areas of their wholeness. There we go, wholeness, right? Now, that was an intense episode. I also shit on that episode, and I got some critique from close friends only that, what the fuck, dude, you used to be a swinger? No, I wasn't a swinger, dude. I was invited to one stupid party. That's all that happened.
Exactly. Same, like invited, went, not for me. No,
Mm,
it was not not a thing. But I
mm.
want to preface this episode by saying this one is extra hot spicy sauce. So there may be some people that cannot take what I'm going to bring to the table in this one, but I told you before the show I'm going to be uber candid on this. Because I think that's important when giving your testimony that you don't leave things out and hide yourself. So, last episode, chapter 5, I sent you the music or told you to uh, attach corn freak on a leash to it. So,
Oh yeah.
chapter 5 was definitely living out freak on a leash in every way, shape, and form possible. Anything that we wanted to do, we did, and all of the interesting facets of the fetish world, and people have so many crazy fetishes, and they're like, I want to see just pictures of your feet, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
I want to see your feet in pantyhose, or do you ever wear a diaper? That's probably the weirdest thing anybody ever said to me. I'm like, no, but people do
Ooh.
have a diaper fetish.
Oh, I
So
like elbows. I sexualize elbows. So keep your elbows away from me.
it takes all kinds to make the world go round, right?
Yeah.
So we're in this world, we're enjoying it. We're doing the whole, freaky deaky, getting to know each other and growing at the same time and doing all this crazy stuff. And, I'm doing all these little videos and stuff, making extra money here and there to try to pay down some of the debt.
Yup.
And it wasn't long, and I got a phone call from a very, very, very large studio in Florida.
Mm.
And they were like, hey, we saw some of your work. Would you be interested in coming down and doing a magazine shoot and a video shoot? And I'm like, perk up ears, tell me more. And ended up that it was for a very large porn company in Miami.
Mm.
And they had most of the top stars of the day and stuff. And mind you, I'm well into adulthood. I'm not a 20-year-old. I'm not a 30-year-old. I'm in my 40s when this happened.
Oh snap. Oh crap.
And so
A great
they
age,
were
by the way.
like, yeah.
Mm.
So they were like, we really like what you do. You have a lot of fans out there, or whatever. Do you want to come and do this? And I'm like, well, I don't have the money to fly to Miami. I don't have the money for that. Oh, they're like, oh, don't worry about it. Everything is paid. We will pay
Mm.
your flight. We'll pay your hotel. We'll pay your meals. Um, and if you agree to do this, da da da. And so I'm talking back and forth with them, and I'm like, this is really good money. $5,000, right? For
Uh-huh.
two days. And I thought, man, I got so many bills. I cannot pass this up. And of course, we're being all freaky at the time. I discussed it with my husband, which we weren't married at the time, but we were still together. And he's like, I think you should go for it. This company's
Wow.
very reputable. We looked it up. They've got, good reviews from people that have worked with them, the whole 9 yards. I was a little nervous, but um, they put you through a screening process. So you go and you
Mhm.
have, a full blood panel workup, STD testing, the whole 9 yards, all of that. It's
Okay.
mandatory for everyone to get tested.
Hmm.
Um, and so that made me feel better. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I fly down there. They have a limousine pick me up at the airport, take me to a hotel. I
Oh gosh.
got put up in a suite. Um, had my meals, ready for me, the whole 9 yards. They pick me up in the morning, take me to the studio, and they're like, I know we told you this was going to be 2 days of work, but you'll spend a lot of time in hair and makeup and wardrobe and blah, blah, blah. So, in all actuality, I got paid $5,000 for about an hour and a half worth of work. That's a lot of money, right?
That's an incredible amount of money
That
for
is
an
a
hour.
that is a lot of money. And so when I get to the studio, they take you in hair, makeup, and then they've got stylist and whatever trying to find whatever. And so the first thing that we did was the magazine shoot.
Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And that wasn't nothing other than photographs and all of that stuff. Me by myself.
Mhm.
And so I was like, oh, this is not bad. And I'm not a shy person. I used to be.
Mhm.
But being in healthcare and like every student on the planet had to come in and see me giving birth and, tearing and all of that stuff. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Everybody's got the same parts. So I was actually very comfortable. Didn't bother me whatsoever. And then they're like, okay, now we're going to get ready for your scenes and you're going to do three different things.
Mhm.
Three different scenes. And the first one, you're going to be celebrating your divorce and you're going to be having champagne with your boyfriend and, whatever. And it's like, play off of that. And so it's like make up your own script basically as you go along,
Oh
but here's the
yeah.
premise.
Mhm.
And then they had me do, uh, it was so cheesy. It was called I Can't Get Enough of Your Big Hunky Love.
Porn is known for
That
cheesy
one,
stuff.
that one was so super duper cheesy. The guy did not speak English. He was like flown in from like another country or something and didn't speak English. So there was no like dialogue between us like at all
Uh-huh.
because he couldn't understand me and I don't know what language he was speaking.
Uh-huh.
And the third one was absolutely my favorite.
Uh-huh.
We were chuckling today because I told you I'm definitely not a dominatrix. However, in this
What's my
one,
safe word? Mommy.
exactly, mommy. This one, I was the office boss, and
Hmm.
my assistant was a male, and so I had to take the lead and be like this dominant figure and whatever, and kind of like boss him around and tell him to strip and all of that stuff. Which
Whoa.
I love this. This was my favorite one because we bantered back and forth really, really well, and it helps to like be around somebody that you can bounce back and forth off of.
Hmm.
But I'm going to tell you, for people who have never experienced the porn industry for themselves, there are very shady companies out there. However, this company was like, um, you go through all this hair, makeup, and wardrobe stuff, and then you go onto the set to do, one of your shoots, and it's like, okay, ready, set, shoot, stop, pose, photos, lots
Huh.
of photos, repeat. It's like a cycle. And so,
Mhm.
like, there's very, very little activity that actually goes on on one of these sets because
Mhm.
it is so, like, broken up. Like,
Mhm.
you would have like a minute of activity, stop, pictures, all the time. Um, and I will tell you, never once was there a time where I was in contact with splooge because what they do, and this is a little trade secret for the industry, Lubriderm and water, and they mix it together. And so if you're seeing like, I'm going to be graphic, but like a cum shot on the face or something, it's not. It's Lubriderm. It's lotion.
Oh, snap. No wonder.
Yeah, so
No one
they
nuts that
they
much.
they take like a syringe or whatever
Oh,
and
God.
turkey baster or whatever. And so like it's not what people think it is. And so it allowed me to be like a lot more comfortable the people that I was around while I'm doing this, and like laughing and joking in the first one where I'm getting the divorce and all of that stuff. But the office boss one, because it was my favorite, um, and it went off so well with the person that I was with, and we were like vibing, and it was like this whole thing. It's kind of like the conversations my husband and I have where we can like not hear each other, but just carry out the most interesting conversation off of what we think
Mhm.
each other said.
Mhm.
Um, we actually got a standing ovation from the film crew, which when you're filming in one of these little set areas, there are literally about 25 different people in
Wow.
that area because they've got cameras, stationary cameras, video cameras, lighting crew, script crew, wardrobe crew, hair and makeup. Literally everybody is on the set to do one
Mhm.
of these things. Um,
Mhm.
and so, you know, it went really well. It wasn't
Mhm.
uncomfortable, nothing like that, and I never felt like threatened or endangered or anything like that because, like I said, it was so controlled and they were so professional at it. Now, if there's people out there that have been in the industry, you will run into creepy people.
Oh, yeah.
But the creepier people that I ran into is when I was actually doing the fetish work. That's when I ran it.
Before.
Yes, that's when I ran into really creepy people. So made my $5,000 for an hour and a half worth of work. Like the first day, I worked about an hour, and the second day, I worked about 30 minutes, and then I flew home, and that was it. So I had that money to put in the bank to be able to pay my house payment for several months.
Can I ask a couple of questions? I have to.
Yes, I don't care.
Like full on intercourse?
Yes, but like I said, it was so like broke
You need
up.
fluffers and stuff. Like you need a
Yeah,
bunch of
oh
people here. Yeah, huh?
yes,
Uh-huh. For
absolutely. And
him, actually.
it wasn't my job to be a fluffer. They have people on set that do that, or the guys will do themselves, or
Hmm.
whatever. But it's like I said, it's so broken up that it's just like penetration for a minute and then stop and then pose and then pictures and then change the lighting, fix your hair, fix your makeup. I was like, this is astounding because you would think watching it that it would be like flowing, a flowing thing, and that's like all you're watching, and that's really not how it went at all. They got
Oh,
good splicers, good video editors.
excellent. You know what? It's one of the biggest markets out there.
Yes,
Now,
absolutely.
now because I'm so close-minded, toxic, people would say, right?
Hmm.
If I had an open, now spice things up now. My ex and I didn't have an open relationship, but she always said, if we do a threesome, I want to have another girl because she was bi. She liked girls, right? And I
Hmm.
was like, never, never, never. Because I was like, but in my head, in the back of my head, I was like, damn, that'd be fucking hot, right? Cool. Excuse me.
It's not,
Uh,
it's a lot of work.
It's, I know. And then I've had my share of 30 nights
Activities.
activities
Mm-hmm.
with other people that were like night one nights, and we met at a party and stuff like that with a friend of or a friend or even my cousin even. Not that me and my cousin had intercourse, like we shared someone, right? Both two guys
Right.
and a girl. And so
Right.
so I understand like a kid, like it's when you're in the moment, it's not a production, it's just nut. Right for a guy, it's just, oh yeah, fuck yeah, whatever. But like when it's a production, it's there's more complexities, and it's an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
They really
Yes.
want to captivate
A
and have the
hundred
people
percent.
be watching and be like, oh, what they do. So,
Mm-hmm. Oh
but
my
because I'm
gosh,
so,
wouldn't it be exciting to have a boss like that?
yeah. And then they start using the
Take your
illusions.
clothes
And then
off and get on the couch.
this is why HR department is very important in these states. So, I'm right here thinking, your husband knew all about this from the beginning. He
Oh
knew
yeah.
that you were going to have intercourse, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about it. And, it's one of those things where we're so, like, we just clicked right off the bat. We're so comfortable with each other and so secure in our own relationship. He knows I'm not going anywhere. I know he's not going anywhere. And it's that level of comfortability that most people like search for but don't get there. Like
Yeah.
there's no jealousy, there's no like none of that because
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to chumbacasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at chumbacasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
we know that we are each other's person. And so, that I've never hid a single thing from him. Like when we were doing, all the crazy stuff and I was doing like shoots with the local photographer for his boudoir stuff and whatever, he would actually look through my stuff and be like, this one's the best photo, or, you should put them in this order or whatever. Like he was very involved in like arranging like portfolio type stuff. So, yeah.
What an insane conversation that probably was for the person
Hmm.
that's for the average person like myself. Like
Right.
I can't imagine myself, my wife being with another man coming home and you have $5,000 in your pocket because you slept with somebody else. And that's the most basic way to see it
Right.
because I don't have
Absolutely.
that type of relationship with my wife. It's kind of like it's more like close-minded, like what the fuck, you know? But I do come from I come from that when I stopped working, like I told you, I stopped working on a leg. And she pulled me out of that side because she was closed-minded. She pulled me out of the
Hmm.
freaking laundry industry when I was like, well, fuck, dude, I love this job. Why don't I go anywhere? But I mean, because I loved her, I was like, okay, well, then let me switch my job up and see what I could do somewhere else.
Hmm.
But I understand it. I understand it. Wow, Janet, that's very intense. First, and you're man. Oh my God, what
Well,
level of maturity, dude?
yeah, and like I said, I'm very lucky because we just click. We just have that kind of relationship where it's like very, support. I mean, he was doing freaky stuff with me before, and whatever, and we were both doing like the fetish site. I had an account, he had an account, like, we were both like doing our thing, but he was like my main support system. And I'll tell you what, like after the porn, I only did it once, right? And was super glad, I guess, for the money that came along at that time, because like I said, I was able to, pay my house payment for several months and pay down some bills. But after that is when things also got very interesting. I had another
Uh,
job after that wasn't porn. I got a phone call from this very large company, and they're like, hey, we've seen your portfolio. We saw your work with the studio in Miami. Um, Basically, they wanted me to be a high-end escort.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's when things get interesting.
So, um, I don't know how much time that you have if you want
Oh,
to
we got
discuss
time,
something.
bro.
Okay.
We just started getting juicy. Come on.
So I get this call and they're like, there's people that will want to like have you for a girlfriend for, the night for like a work function or whatever. You don't have to have sex with somebody if you don't want to, it's just like it's basically like a rent a date situation is how they
Hmm.
explained it to me, right? And so I'm not naive. I didn't fall off the apple truck. And I'm like, okay, there's people that are going to expect, something else.
Yup.
So I talked to him about it. And of course, he was on board with it. He's like, if that'll help you pay down like the debt and, not lose your house and be able to provide for your daughter and whatever, he's like, who am I to stop you? Go ahead and do it. I trust you. So I did.
Mm.
And it was almost like, did you ever see Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts?
No, missed it.
Okay, so it was kind of like that where she was actually like a prostitute or whatever, but this really rich guy like finds her and he wants her to be his girlfriend for, I don't know, or play his girlfriend, whatever, for like a week or a month or whatever it was. And so he puts her in the fancy hotel and buys her all these fancy clothes and buys her gifts and takes her to polo matches and all of that stuff. So what I was hired for was kind of like that thing where I was just going to be like people's dates to functions and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So depending on and I traveled a lot.
Hmm.
And depending on where I was at, what area was in, if it was a poorer area or whatever, it was like 150 to $300 an hour, could be more. And then you get tips and people will give you like whatever tips. The company I worked for, I had a security team, that would watch my back and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And so what ended up happening, and this was the craziest thing ever to me. Like first it started out where people were wanting the girlfriend experience and literally just sit on the bed or in a chair together or something and watch a movie, hold hands, stuff like that. It was
Oh.
it was so sweet. And it was like
Yeah.
people that have never had that experience before. And I'll tell you, it
I'm
turned
visualizing
in,
you what you're telling me, by the way.
yes, and it
Yeah.
turned into honestly the most beautiful thing ever because it turned into I would have repeat customers where I was kind of like their person to talk to. So it kind of ended up being therapy sessions. They would come in, I'd give them a neck massage or something, and they would literally tell me about all their problems, at
Wow.
work or problems at home or, financial issues that they were having or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of like evolved into this really sweet, like healing session for people. And who knew that that's um, God works in mysterious ways, and
In mysterious ways.
who knew that
Yeah.
that was the path that he was going to put me on? Because he knew this was going to
Wow.
happen, right? And it's like so many
Mhm.
of these people have never had anybody to listen to them or to be friends with them or whatever. And I was that person. And so it was nothing for people to give me like a $500 tip and literally spending, like it's supposed to be an hour minimum or whatever, and they may spend 30 minutes, pay for an hour, and then tip me $500, just like they were coming to a therapy appointment. It was that not the craziest thing. It
One of the
was never,
most.
it was never, it was never anything other than that, other than, like dinner or something with people every once in a while. But it was never like a bad thing. It was actually like a positive thing. And a lot of these people really turn their lives around. So,
You, there's a lot of people that might have all the money in the world. And
mm,
when I talk about this on the on not on the show, but almost on a daily basis with my fourth leg, Juan from work, and we always mention how it doesn't matter if you're wearing the Gucci shoes and you have
mm-hmm,
the big AT4 truck and you
mm-hmm,
have all the money in the world, easy coming, easy going. But some of these people are some of the people that are living the most loneliest, most miserable lives in their life. Sometimes they married the wrong
100%.
woman, and the only reason they're with that woman is because they know that the moment they divorce this chick, they're gonna lose out on more than half of their money. The child support's gonna kill
Mm-hmm,
them. They're gonna lose probably, their 401k plan and pensions or whatever. And all they need is
mm-hmm.
just one normal day with a person, not even get their dick wet. They just want to speak, go out to eat and relive that euphoria
And
again of dating.
that's exactly what it was. And it was such a
Mhm.
beautiful thing because you could see like a little twinkle in people's eye, right? And they were like so happy to have someone just to talk to them. And so I did this for, I don't, not even 2 months.
And you had more money.
And I made more in that time.
ET is Ryan Seacrest here. People always say it's good to unwind, but that's easier said than done. The exception, Chumba Casino. They actually make it easier done than said, or at least the same. Chumba Casino is an online social casino with hundreds of casino-style games like slots and blackjack. Play for fun. Play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sign up now and collect your free welcome bonus at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Then I made an entire year being a nurse.
How can I sign up?
Right. And it was,
Wow.
and it was yeah, rewarding monetarily, but it was rewarding in the aspect that I was actually doing something for people and helping people and you know giving them like advice on stuff or whatever, and just being that friend that they were missing. And so some of these people, I'd see them twice a week or six
Wow.
times a month or something like that, and it was like constantly like whatever. And so within my first week of working for this company, I literally was the top earner in the company. And why? Just because I spent time to talk to people. How was your day?
Amazing.
Tell me how your day was at work, what happened.
You show a natural. And you do it with me too. When we text and message, this is why I've grown very fond of you, and I've grown very close to you, because you have this mannerism of pulling out information and genuinely showing interest in other people's lives.
Hmm.
And you've said this plenty of times on this show before. You've said people just want to have their emotions um,
Validated.
validated and and
Hmm.
and heard, and nobody ever asked you about your life. And it's
Hmm.
true, bro. It's true. And you never know how many lives you probably saved from being committing suicide. You
Hmm.
never know, dude.
And it's, and I love that. And I like to call it the ripple effect, right?
Mm.
Because you can dip your toe in the water and not know how many ripples that you're going to create all the way out into the ocean, right? And so just that one person that you touch, one person that you can share a story with. That's why I don't mind being candid and open about my life and the things that I've been through, while a lot of people would be like, oh my God, like that's so embarrassing. I would never tell people like the things that you
Yeah.
did.
Hmm.
Well, no, that's what we're here for, to give our testimony, because we're not the only person that's on a path or was on a path that was less than perfect.
Yeah.
But I got put on that path regardless, and I'm the one that made the choice to do it. But, you know, all while God knows that that's what I was going to do in the first place, right?
Mhm.
So he expected this for me, and that's why I said I would never change a single thing about anything that's happened in my life, because I would not be who I am today, and I would not have come out of like bullying and feeling worthless and unloved and all of that stuff, to being able to provide the most love ever to other people. Like I
Yeah.
would not be that person.
An
So I'm
amazing,
thankful.
an amazing testimony. You gifted me recently a box, second box, but care package of goodies. Bro, I'm actually eating one right now. I left it because it's really sweet, but I was like, dude, the coffee. They were like, and believe it when I tell you guys, she is a giver. And for she, what her tracking said, and she has not only the talent to pull information out of you, but connect with you in many different levels, and also the caregiving of her. That's you were placed here for a very specific reason, and it's to help other people heal and guide people
Hmm.
in many ways. So I'm very, very thankful to God for giving you the path that He gave you, and that way that's the only reason you're here. I don't believe in
Amen.
coincidences. There's only
I don't either.
consequences,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Now the
and but I do have a couple
consequences would
questions right
be,
before we end it. So.
sure, the
Hmm.
consequence would be like if I stayed in that life and I chose to continue down that path, but I had to do that for the short periods of time that I did, to be able to have more knowledge, more wisdom, and growth. So,
Word,
anyway.
word. Did you ever find during the time that you were doing the escort business,
Mhm.
was there anybody that said, "I love you," a stalker, somebody that really tried to like get in contact with you even deep on a deeper level?
One person, and he was a lot older than me, owned like a car dealership and a fleet of yachts and whatever. And he wanted me to be like his possession, I guess you could say, and like a word that keeps popping into my head is like his concubine, right? And it's like
Ah,
he wanted to keep me as his possession, and I'm like, no, that's not going to happen, because I have somebody. I have my person, and I'm not interested in doing that. And he called a lot. But I was able to, you know, I was never rude about it, right? I was just able to like
mm,
explain the situation and be able to step back gracefully from
mm.
what he wanted. So,
Well, a lot of men once show you the yacht, they think that they can own a lot more than just
yeah.
materialistic things. That
Yeah,
is
and I'm
wicked,
not
Janet.
I'm not I'm not one to be like a kept person.
Hmm.
I'm a very independent person. Uh Even though like in my marriage, we're the same kind of people. Like he's very independent, I'm very independent. We can do our own things, but still like come together and discuss and whatever. And I don't mean like, like a lot of people live separate lives where,
Hmm.
like the man has a man cave, the woman has a woman cave, and like they never spend time together. We literally still date each other after 15 years of marriage.
That is awesome. How
Yeah.
do you do that?
It's
15 years, huh?
yeah. 15 years in November, right around Thanksgiving. The week of Thanksgiving was our 15 years.
Oh
Yep.
my God, you didn't even tell me. Well, yeah. Happy anniversary, late anniversary.
Why, thank you.
That's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. You know what? I think this episode has a very, very powerful message. Um, and I'm probably gonna, the only thing I got to say would be, who am I to judge? Peter rejected Jesus Christ 3 times,
hmm
and now he's one of those
Well,
chosen
and
few.
all through the Bible, there's stories where, God chose prostitutes, God chose, people that were broken, downtrodden, full of, demons or whatever. And those or people that were killers even. And those are the people that he uses. And so I don't ever want people to think that you're unworthy of being saved or you're unworthy of God's love because God uses all kinds of people to carry out his work and service for other people. And so that's what you're here for.
Can I add something to that?
Yes.
We're going through the book of Jonah, and that book, it's not one of my favorite ones, but what I picked up today was it's a reminder of God, how God uses the most awkward, unperfect, sinning,
Mm-hmm.
tragic people to
Right.
make to create beautiful scenes, to
Right.
show his will and show how passionate and how caregiving he is. Because in the entire Bible, he's a murderous God, right? But no, he's not. He shows you, he's a reminder, the whole fish story, the whole way that he had tried to hide from him and everything. I'm like, dude, like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
why are you complaining, bro? Like, but no, it's a reminder of how God uses unperfect people to make the biggest changes and the most impactful moments in life. And
And that is
I
me.
think he used you. I think he used
I
you
was
to a
going to
certain
say
degree.
that is me to a T because I was like, nope, I'm not listening. Blah, blah, blah. I can't hear you. And, he put me through all these trials, tribulations, and a very rocky, bumpy path my entire life to build me up, to strengthen me into a warrior to do his will. So I
Bam.
couldn't be happier. Yeah.
I couldn't be happier. This episode is it was revealing, but it's not, it didn't leave me on a cliffhanger like, what's going to happen next? No, it's like, there's a message, there's a message here. No panic, and cannot wait for chapter 7. I think you said 2 more chapters and we're almost done with this amazing series.
hmm
And now, Janet, please let them know. First of all, let them know what you got planned to drop next week, because this episode drops this Sunday, and then let them know where they can find you.
Next, for the Christmas week festivities, I have a ladies' roundtable that will be dropping. And it is a Island of the Misfit Toys, which is basically a celebration of the five hoes that were on the show. That would be and
Oh, oh, oh,
I'll
oh,
explain
oh.
that. It's me and Heidi, Ellie, Teresa, and Tamara. And I say that ho because that means happy outcast. And so we are the people that have never fit in, never had a lot of female friends, never felt accepted or appreciated or basically good enough to be somebody's friend until we all met each other. So yeah, it's a celebration of the five hoes. Yeah.
I fucking love that, dude. I'm so pissed off I didn't come up with that. That is amazing.
It was the funniest episode, and we talked for quite a while beforehand, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're not recording this part, are you?" And I was like, "No," and they're like, "Oh, thank God, people would take that the wrong way." There was a lot of laughter during that, so yeah.
Oh man.
So
I'm
yeah,
so
I have
glad.
to. Everybody's
Mhm.
got to check that out. And then make sure you go check out Deplorable Nation on Rumble or on any audio podcast platform. Find Deplorable Janet on Instagram or No Janet Kate and OW on Twitter.
That's right. Make sure you check her out. Check out the ho episode for Christmas. I'm gonna help her out, promote that as if it's one of my very own, and I cannot wait to listen to that episode. I think you guys are amazing. Again, like I told you guys when we were on this show, and you guys hammered it. It's just I have to condense the episode to only 40 minutes. Because that's the rule of thumb. But I could only imagine how long you guys went and all the beautiful information you guys will be able to present. Now, guys, make sure you check her out. Deplorable Nation podcast is found on all podcast platforms. Do not forget to drop a 5-star review on her show and on our show and on Spotify, because that allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Peace out.
Paranoid Radio.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.